to Yogurtland, the church. She likes those Yogurtland days, let me tell you right now. Um, but New Year's, we went to San Diego, did a little trip there for 4 days. San Diego is beautiful. Oh my goodness, it's so beautiful. And like that's the place you want to be during Christmas, New Year's. It's really cold though. I did not expect that. So yeah. Anyway, we're taking time. Everybody's kind of doing their own thing for a while. Bandmates, that is, just to rest and recover. But yeah, man, it's good. I'm excited to hang with you guys. Let's see. I've been seeing some questions here. What do you guys have? Let me see. Will you guys be in the studio this year? That's a really good question. I think we plan on it. That is definitely for sure. Is it going to be a crazy amount of time? We don't know because I think once again, after having been on the road for since 2022 Christmas time, I think everybody kind of needs a second to recharge. And I think this is the beautiful thing, right? Every single person in this band is so gifted on their own, and everybody has things that really fill up their cup. And I think, this last year, as beautiful as it was, I don't think people got to fill up their cup creatively, physically, spiritually as much as they would have liked. So I think everybody needs time to fill their cup. Because once they fill their cup, when we come back to Pentatonics, Pentatonics is now getting our overflow, the overflow of love, the overflow of appreciation for being here, because we've had some time to gain some perspective and do stuff outside of this space, which I think is very healthy and very, very necessary. So, yeah, we'll be back in the studio. It just may not be immediately, so that everybody can take time for themselves. Somebody's asking about walking around with an energy drink. You can, I mean, hey, look, do you? Energy drinks aren't my thing. Let me see what we have here. I joined TikTok today. Why is my username 2819064? I don't know. You got to ask the powers that be. Let's see. Will PTX do any covers again? I'm sure. I am sure we will. It's something that we love to do. It's something that we really, really enjoy. And so I can definitely see us do a lot of covers. We started making plans this past the finishing of our Christmas tour for what kind of music we'd like to do for this year in 2025. And if we pull it off, y'all, it's going to be very, very sick. Please say hi, Kendra. It'll make my whole year, LOL. Hi, Kendra. Hello. How are you doing? Ni hao. Let's see. Should we hope for a new original album in the near future? Also on the table. One of the things that I'm really excited about for us is that we've done so many things in the recorded music space and the touring space. And I think now we're trying to understand how can we branch off and do things maybe that's not necessarily those two specific arenas, no pun intended. What would it look like for us to do more TV? What would it look like for us to do more film? What would it look like for us to do Broadway? What would it look like for us to do Vegas? Like things that are so different from our normal. And I think that's really exciting because, we've been around now for 12 and a half years. Isn't that crazy to say? I cannot believe it just flew out of my mouth. 12 and a half years. And I think there's just so much more that we can explore. And I think we're really excited to explore outside of just recorded music and touring. So, we'll be developing some things, I'm sure, in the future. Be on the lookout for that. I hope you're having a good day. I'm having a great day, everybody. How do you feel about the Grammy nomination? Man, it's I will say it like this. You know, I don't think we make music for the Grammys. We don't make music to achieve these accolades. We do want to make great music and things that really expand our own boundaries and make people joyous and make people happy. So the Grammys is just an icing on the cake, man. Like, it's so special to know that people in our industry really love what we do as well. So we never take that for granted. And I appreciate when we get to be in those spaces because there's also so many amazing musicians that are there. And the opportunity to get to rub shoulders with these people that you've admired and respected for so long. You know, I remember, I think this must have been 2017, 2016. I remember going to an after party at this place called the Soho House, and I saw Zed there, and I literally just sat with him and I just asked him so many questions about his production. Because just the way he thinks about production, the synths that he uses, the sign synths that he uses, like, it really bewildered me, and I wanted to know. And I think that's the most exciting part for me, just getting to know these people, getting to learn about their own process and kind of the initial spark that helps them make music, or what's the framework that they think about as they start to construct a song or a piece, right? So that's one of the things I'm excited about with the Grammys. Uh, um, yeah, so I'm excited to go. Once again, we don't make music for the Grammys. We make music for you all, and I'm excited about making music for you all. California, I can tell you that right now. Let's see. I remember watching all of the sing off when I was 3. Oh man, what a crazy. That's crazy to hear. Thank you. Um, One thing that's exciting for me when I think about the fact that there are so many people, especially on this Christmas tour, who came to us and said, I've watched you or listened to you since the sing off. You know, some of them were teenagers. One person said, I was born the year you won the sing off. I'm not going to say I'm old because I'm feeling pretty fly and pretty fresh. Don't get me wrong, but that's crazy to think of the legacy that we've left so far. Um, you know, some of you guys have said, I was a teenager and now I'm an illegal adult who drinks. Like, what in the world? It's wild, y'all. So thank you so much for that memory of the sing off. Um, it's so cool to know that we've had that kind of staying power for this long. Mike, how many cellos do you have? Oh, that's a good question. I probably have 3 or 4 electric cellos. They're all the same model, just because some of them are from, for example, break. One of them broke, for example, when I was in Japan, so I got a new one. So things like that, normal wear and tear. But I have one acoustic cello and about 3 or 4 electric. But I'm looking to add more to my arsenal in the next few years. Oh, I got to see you all live at Greenville, South Carolina. Oh, yay. That's awesome, Rachel. Y'all were amazing, especially the dance of the Sugarplum Fairy. Yo, let me tell you guys, that one was such a fun piece of music to put together with Matt Salih, my brother in bass. I don't know, because I'm not a bassist. My brother in rhythm section. My brother in rhythm. There we go. I found it. So funny story about that. We actually started working on that during the summertime. Um, During the summertime, as a band, we were putting together the set list for Christmas, putting all the songs together, which takes a long time. But we worked with our musical director, Lucas Sater. Shout out to Lucas, OG Triple OG. And yeah, he helped us produce that. to become what it was. And man, the reactions from the crowds every single night, it was electrifying to the soul. This year is probably the year I've had the most fun playing cello since probably 2022, Kevin's fifth, doing the Hollywood Bowl. I think it's because, and I've said this before, I feel like doing that performance of Kevin's fifth was the baptism in my truest calling. Now, don't get me wrong. Of course, I love what I do in the band, Pentatonics. But beatboxing is, I feel like, in so many ways, only a small subsection of what I feel like I've learned to do in my life. It's just so funny because that's the thing that, the band found me for. But there's just so many other things that I feel like I want to do and I get to do. And I think the impetus and the jump off point for kind of where I creatively have been developing to in certain ways that I think creates a sturdy foundation for my kind of the next iteration and phase of my music was that it was amazing. It changed my life. And so I think with that ethos, I've been looking at how do we do Dance with the Sugar Plum Fairy? How do Matt and I, for example, do other things similarly going forward as we perform in pentatonics and then, the stuff that I do on my own? How do I really rev up the engines to create performances that I hope will, give people a certain amount of joy and excitement? That was really, really fun. Let's see. What is this? These gifts? Oh my gosh, wait a second. I'm just going to try one of these. This just came up as I was walking. Let's just see what this does. I'm going to press this send. Send a one-time gift. Oh, it's not available in my country. Well, okay. I don't know what to do with that. Here we go. Let's see. Oh, it's a gifter badge. Okay. Let's see. What's the next? Um, there's a one comment. I need a girlfriend. Well, you know what? I'll tell you this. I didn't really date until college, and even in college, I didn't really date. So take your time. Also, let's just for 1 second. Personally, for me, you don't have to take my advice, but I'm really glad that I didn't go so deep into dating for me until I was in my mid-20s. The reason why is that you are learning so much about yourself, who you are, what you want to do, what's the kind of job you want to have, so much about your own purpose that, maybe for some people, having a partner be there throughout the journey doesn't distract them, but for me, it did. And so I'm glad that I took so much time to kind of figure out you know, certain basic tenets for myself so that I understood what I would be able to provide to a partner and also, know who I want to be at my core. And I think that's the perfect time when Lee and I met. I was 28 years old, turning 29. And we were just so sure about wanting to be married, why we wanted to be married, and that we could create a lifelong partnership that would be grounding for the soul. Because there's so much outside of love that makes a relationship, so much. It's not just about the lovey-dovey feelings. There's so many other things that if you don't put that in perspective, the lovey-dovey feelings can only take you so far. So I'm really glad that I had that time to do that and just be on my own. So that's just me. You're not here for dating advice, but if you want it, take it. Oh my gosh. Let's see. What else we got in this place? Thank you, Richfield. Oh, thank you Saw you in Orlando. Thank you. Man, these comments are so beautiful. Oh, you're from Kentucky. Kelly. Oh, wow. Well, hopefully we're performing in Kentucky another time soon, and you should come see us. Let's see. Keep being bold about you. Oh, thank you, man. This person said, keep being bold about Jesus, and I appreciate that. You know, faith is the most important thing to me. It's the reason I'm in music. I didn't choose this because I wanted to be famous and rich and make all this money and have people know my name. Like, I didn't want any of this. I didn't see any of this for my future. But it felt like God kind of tapped me on the shoulder and said, I called you for this purpose. And I just said, okay, you're going to have to do it. And, you know, I couldn't have ever imagined this. So I'm thankful, trusting God with the path that He had pre planned for me. Let's see. Is there a song you never get tired of singing? Honestly, probably Mary Did You Know? Like, I love singing that solo. And it's so cool because when we released that in 2014, I remember how tough it was for me to sing that solo on the record. Like, yeesh, it was tough. Let's be honest about that. Because I hadn't really practiced singing, nor did I really want to be a singer. I was trying to be a cellist and a beatboxer and do all this other academic stuff, right? Chinese, whatnot, what have you. So when they asked me to do the solo, I said, come again? Not me, sucker. Nah, nah, nah. But then I did it because artistically it was the right choice for the song. And then after that, you know, 2015, starting to take voice lessons with, you know, Dave Stroud, who was a great voice teacher. And then just continuing to build upon my skills. Now, singing Mary Did You Know is such a joy. It's such a pleasure. It's so fun for me. You know, same thing with Amazing Grace. So those are two I don't get tired of singing. Are there others? No, are there some that I do get tired of singing? Ooh. You know what? I'll say this. I can say this on behalf of the band. I know I have their vote of confidence saying this. We love sing. Well, we thought we were going to love singing the prayer live every single night. But man, that is a hard song to sing at the top of your register every single night. So we were like, you know what? We tried it once. I'm going to put this bad boy to rest. Feels like it's time. You know what I mean? And I go, yeah, that makes sense to me. Oh, yikes. Okay. Starting to get a little tired on this thing. Hold on. Where am I right now? Can you see? Anyway, I'll just show it this way. It's like, you know, putting work in. Oh, wait. Hold on. Can you see that? There we go. Anyway, 30 minutes, 365 calories. Putting work in. Hoping to get like, I don't know, 50 minutes on this thing. So on 31 minutes, so I got another 20 to go. Oh, man. All right. I may be on here for another like 5 minutes. Like 5 minutes because like 5 minutes because at some point it is. Let's see. Can you shout out to Wayne? What up, Wayne? Are there any funny BTS moments during tours last year that you particularly remember? Yes. And it was on camera. The fact that Kirsty was engaged in Japan and she showed me her ring, and I was like, what are you doing? Why are you going like this in front of my face? I don't understand. Like, what is it? And then when I finally realized, oh my goodness, everybody, like, say what? That was crazy. So proud of them. So excited for them. So excited for their wedding. It's going to be beautiful. Um, yeah, it's going to be really awesome to see her finally marry the love of her life. And I can't believe I'm saying this, but I'm just going to say it. So I, as you all know, well, actually, I don't think you guys know. I've never really been a sports person, but this past year, I got really into sports, like watching a lot of football games. My wife and I just went to a basketball game, the Mavericks Lakers game 2 nights ago. Gotten like really into sports and enjoying sports and watching sports. I think it's because of the mindset of an athlete, like what you put yourself through. Like you have to summon the best of you every single day to be able to perform at your highest. So anyway, all the guys on tour, Lucas, our monitor guy, Matt, our merch guy, Roger, and also, and now Ben, we have this group text called KO's Masterclass. And it's literally just these guys schooling me on football. Every single time a game is on, that chat goes absolutely wild. As you can tell, I'm a Rams fan. I was sad about their loss to the Lions, but you know what? The Lions really deserved it. Detroit hadn't had a playoff win since I think like the early '90s. So it was really awesome that Goff could do what he did. And you know, Matthew Stafford is a class act. Watching him as he finished the game, he finished strong. You know, there's been a lot of talk about him becoming the Hall of Famer, so I'm excited for him. But yeah, man, I've gotten really into sports, and so these guys just continue to school me. So that's another way that Ben Hauser and I get to connect a lot more. Oh man, let's see. I know almost everyone in PTX has fallen on stage, not off stage. That'd be terrible. What's one you remember that's your favorite? Probably my own. I maybe in 20, I think it was 2016. No, it was 2014. We were performing at like a Big Ten school. Finished the set. We were about to go back on stage, and as I'm like literally hitting each stair, I tripped on one of the stairs and fell flat on my face. And I was a much heavier guy then. And so that stage, it felt like an earthquake had just happened. The whole thing just goes. All the bandmates look back like, what in the world is going on? They just see me face on the floor, not looking pretty. C'est la vie. It was funny. Oh, man. Let's see. Came from England to see you in Orlando and Hollywood last month. Oh, that's awesome. Hey, Molly and Kennedy. Let's see. Favorite place you visited on last year's world tour? Oh man, I love going to New Zealand. New Zealand is one of my favorite places to be. Um, the water's so clear. The mountainous range is so green. You know, years past we went to see where Hobbiton was made. And bro, that was crazy. Like crazy, 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 crazy. So yeah, that's probably my favorite. Let's see. I'm gonna do maybe two more, and then I'm gonna stay focused on what we've got here, which is this workout. I'm applying for a music industry internship in New York City. Any advice? Oh, it's a good question. Um, I know people say this a lot, but be yourself. You know what you have to offer, and you should be able. Somebody actually told me this that I thought was really interesting. You should be able to have a brag page about yourself. You should know how to brag about yourself and how absolutely unbelievably incredible you are. So you should be able to go in there confidently and brag about why you feel like you are awesome and why you deserve this internship. What are the unique things that you bring to the table? I think if you do that, I thought it was amazing advice. Um, hopefully they see the hopefully they see what you see in yourself. And if they don't, uh, let's think. Any tips for starting music theory know most when you know most about music theory already? I'm a little confused about that question. Are you saying that how do you start music theory if you already know, if you already understand music theory? If you don't mind clarifying, that would be wonderful. Um, Favorite song off the new Christmas album? Uh, let's see. Mm, yeah, I'd probably say Please Stand Up Please. And that was something that my daughter absolutely loved as well. So I listened to her sing that often. What people don't know. So in the intermission between Christmas tours, I was just calling my family before Kaya would go to bed. That's it. Hanging out with her, talking to her. She'd be watching some sort of pentatonic music video. And you know what was so funny? My wife noticed that once I got back home, because all Christmas season, while I was gone, she was watching pentatonic Christmas videos. But when I got back, she said, I don't, she said that she didn't want to watch it anymore. And I realized the reason she was watching it was because she missed her father and that she wanted to connect with him. And so now that I'm home, I guess she doesn't necessarily see the need to be able to watch these music videos because I'm home. So there's another instance of it's so cool to be connected to it's so cool to be connected to somebody like that. Um, Meaning I know more than a beginner should know, but I know nothing about sheet music or anything. Oh, I understand. Um, I mean, I don't know if you're taking a class or if you're doing an online class, um, but make sure you truly understand the foundation because that foundation is super important to learning all the different other aspects. And then I think from there, like I said, if it's an online course, just start taking the courses that you think that you need to have that will be able to improve and bolster what you're desiring to learn. Um, One of the I'm obsessed about high performance training, and I realized that learning is when I don't learn on a daily basis, whether it's 5 minutes or 10 minutes, I realize something inside of me kind of feels like I don't have to summon the best out of myself, and so that's why I would say, whenever you take the learning seriously, and also schedule time every single day or as many days as you would like in a week. So you have a specific time that you know you're going to study, that you're going to be focused, that there's going to be no distractions. You won't even have your phone around because you're just focused on the task at hand doing this beautiful, deep work. So many times we allow distraction to be the killer of what we actually want. And we're kicking ourselves saying like, well, yeah, maybe I did some busy work, being distracted by something busy, but it wasn't the thing that will make your soul come alive. So I'll say, however you're studying, make sure that you have absolutely no distractions around so you can do deep work. Um, okay, one more question. One more. How do you incorporate your devotional time into your day while on tour? Ooh, that's a great question. If nobody knows what devotional time is. That's the time for me to connect or for anybody really, to connect to the higher source of life, which I believe is God Almighty. So how do you find that time? Same way I would answer the last question. It's just about having a routine and a schedule and knowing that you have a specific time and place to meet God. For me, when I'm on tour, it's usually around like an 8:30, 9 a.m. when I wake up, and I take the back of the bus and I listen to some very, very reflective music that kind of gets me into a space where I feel like I'm in the throne room and starting to really connect. So that's, for me, is the most important thing. And then right before stage, getting on stage, taking the time to clear the room, clear the air, and have that music that starts to get me focused on the task at hand. Why do I make music? Why am I on the stage? Because there's many times, many days that you are so tired, you don't feel like getting on stage. And that, if somebody told you, oh, I always feel like getting on stage, no, they're lying. There are some days where you're just trying to muster up the strength. So that's why those days is where I especially have to focus on why. Why am I here? Why have these people come and spent their hard-earned money to come see a concert? Because they want love and they want joy. And that, for some reason, just gets my engines going. So yeah, that's how I incorporate the devotional time. Okay, love y'all. This is really, really fun. I enjoy hanging out with you guys. Um, it is time for me to focus. I got 5 more minutes on here. And yes. Anyway, you guys rock. Thank you for hanging out. And I'm sure we will do this again. Maybe on Instagram Live. Just trying to see which one for me I enjoy more. This whole daily rankings thing is still kind of, I'm not truly getting it, but we'll see. All right, y'all. Peace.